How about I get your opinion? Okay, I made a bet a few weeks ago, as you know, about Ryan Dempster and Phil Humber, who's gonna have the better season next year. Now, I'm not gonna ask you who you think's gonna be better, because I'm pretty sure I know your answer. But if you had to pick a pitcher from the AL, who you think's gonna do better next year, who would you pick and why?
Better than both of those guys, or just
in general, like a comeback pitcher from the American League next year?
Comeback pitcher from the American League. That's actually a good one. If I had to pick one, I would have to go to the Red Sox and choose Clay Buchholz. He had a really nice season with a no-hitter, and I think he's got a lot more potential than what he's been pitching to.
And you think he'll bounce back next year?
Yeah, I think he'll definitely have a bounce back season. I could see him having a 3.5, anything from like a 3 to a 3.5 ERA.
Alright. If I had to ask you, how many wins do you think?
It depends on how well the Red Sox offense goes, but I'll predict around 15 to 17 wins.
Wow. Alright. I guess I'll voice my opinion. My comeback pitcher of the year next year will be Phil Humber. I'm sure you're laughing your butt off right now, but I think Phil Humber next year is going to have around 10 wins in ERA, around 4 strikeouts, about 125, and I do believe he's going to do better than Ryan Dempster next year, because he's going to be in a softer division, facing a gutted Rangers offense and a Mariners offense, which has gotten a little bit better, but I think Humber is going to have a really good year next year. You know, somewhere around a 10-9 record, but it won't show how good he pitches. So, there's my little piece. I mean, do you have any faith in Phil Humber, or am I the only one?
I think he's definitely shown potential with that perfect game he threw, the 21st in Major League Baseball history. I think he could definitely be a solid anything from number 3 to number 5 guy. I don't think he has number 1 to number 2 material, but I think Ryan Dempster was kind of a dream year last year. Ryan Dempster, to me, is almost a 4 or 5 ERA guy, maybe 3.5 on a very good year.
See, I agree with you, and people that say that he doesn't, or he's better than that, all I have to say is look at his ERA once he moved to the Rangers. He had an ERA above 5, compared to an ERA around 2, I believe, with the Cubs.
Yeah.
I mean, that shows the fact that he's not really that good. Not saying that he isn't. Obviously, I couldn't do anything like that, or, I'm not trying to say that. But the difference between the leagues is substantial, between the American League and National League. And so, I don't think he's going to have a bad year next year. I just don't think he's going to live up to the hype, because isn't he going to be the Red Sox number 2 or 3 next year?
Yeah, plus
because of the years that Lester and Buchholz had?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, the guy is aging. He's, I think, 35, 36? And, Humber's a lot younger, so he has more potential to unlock the gates and just let it go everything. I think Dempster's kind of reached his potential, kind of like a 4 ERA guy, 3.8, something around there.
I have to agree with you, and there has to be something said about the teams that they're playing on. He's playing with the Red Sox. To play on the Red Sox, they have a lot of hype to live up to.
Yeah.
Being in that division against the Yankees, and to have on the pressure to be a number 2 guy in an organization like that takes a lot on you. But to be a number 3 or 4 in an Astros starting rotation, the Astros are probably going to lose 80 games next year, at best. At best, they're going to lose 80 or 90 games next year.
Right, and I think, because he was picked up by the Astros, so it's not even like he's on the White Sox where he's with Chris Sale, and he's got Paul Canerico and Adam Dunn, all those guys on the team, and then you got everybody else in the Central, which is a very good division. He's now on the Astros. But the only problem is the Astros have moved to the AL West, so he may have a little bit of problem with that, but I still believe, I don't know how old he is, but I think 29, is around the ballpark. But, full season, would be fine, because in 2011, I think he had his first full season, and he had like around a 4 or 3.75 ERA. So they're going to be close.
In 2011, he threw 26 starts and he had an ERA of 3.75. But if you look at the advanced metrics, FIP, do you know what FIP is?
Yeah.
Okay, he had an ERA of around 350. So he's a better pitcher than what people say. And if you go back even another season when he was with the Royals, he had a FIP around 331.
Right.
He's a better pitcher than people say. And as you said, he's moving to AL West, where he threw the perfect game against the Mariners. And you don't know if the Athletics are going to be able to do it again.
Yeah, I think the Athletics were the same thing as the, well, they were on a dream season, just like Dempster was, I think.
Exactly. So you never know. You know, I could be completely wrong, and he could get smashed by the Rangers and the Angels. Because even though the Rangers are gutted, they still have a pretty good lineup. And the Angels lineup this year is... I'm an Angels fan, but even as a non-Angels fan, their lineup is monstrous.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're incredible. And even like a good example, I know obviously Humber isn't anywhere comparable to Steve Carlton, but Steve Carlton, when he was on a really bad Phillies team, had, I forget how many wins, I think like 27 or 30 so wins, and the Phillies team had 50 overall. So it doesn't matter as if more of what's on your team, but how well you pitch.
I have to agree with you. Recent example, look at last year with R.A. Dickey.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the Mets were not a very good team in the second half. Their bullpen was terrible, and yet he won 20 games, struck out over 200 bats. I'm not saying that Humber's going to do this. All I'm saying is that it's possible, and it might happen.
Exactly, yeah.
Hey, between, now that you said Buchholz,
Yeah,
right?
Buchholz.
He's going to have, do you think Buchholz or Dempster is going to have a better year next year?
I think Buchholz has more potential just because he's a young kid. I think 28 years old. I think his whole seasons before his injury were like low 3 ERAs, high 2s. So I really think that he could pitch very well next season.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. That was a straight sports talk, talking about comeback pitchers of the year next year for the AL. If you have any comments or anything, let us know below. And if you have any topics you want us to talk about for future audio/video, let us know. This has been Niker and
Bell.
Bell. And I guess we'll see you next time.